Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, Tuesday is request day in today's map. Do you know what? It's quite busy. Do you know what else? It's not an easy one. It's not a stupidly difficult map. Don't get me wrong, this is not going to be a map which will have you running for the doors. It's a map that you might put on your list to do later, because I think you're going to have to give a little bit of time and thought and patience with this map, because it's based on a real life location down, I think it's the Andes, I could be wrong there, Lago Lapparently, which is a real life location, but it's only based on that, a bit of inspiration from that area. Yep, it's a good map as well, and you know what we do for good maps as well as bad maps? What do we do? We hit that like button. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. You really do keep me going, you guys. You really, really do. Right, today's map is Lapparently Not. I see what you did there, Planky85. I see what you did there, as does everybody else. Very clever. Almost made it onto the Saturday show because of that pun alone. There's your start square. We've got two sources of water in there, so that's going to be good for those of you that like to pump and draw. Terrain heights look like this. It's very hilly, but there is buildable space. And resources are dotted around in strong blocks, again, in playable ways, so full credit for that. If you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map will look just like that, and I would say that's pretty usable too. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC is required today. Theme Mixer 2 is in operation. We have a Lapparent theme mix, which includes things like Al's Bolivia theme and Rye Bluffs and a few other bits and pieces. We've got a few trees recommendation for network extensions 2 and for TMPE. And oh, it's a lumpy, bumpy map, which goes to show not only is it being requested, but the requester has actually watched a few shows, throwing in from a few of my little catchphrases as such. Yes, we're using the Relight Cool LUT. Now in the description there's a whole list of LUTs that they recommend, and in the actual theme mix, Theme Mixer 2, I think it automatically loads Relight 3 North, I can't remember now, but I went with the top recommended one, even though that the Relight 3 North did load with Theme Mixer. I've switched to this one, and do you know what? I think it's a good choice as well. Relight Cool. So, what can I tell you about this map? Well, the standards are pretty good. Okay, and we've got a lot of interesting stuff going on, like the way that the highways break apart here to go around the little pond, and also we have a little split in terrain height as well, and there's a lot of good slick work going on in this map with these kind of things. The highways come back together over here, and then they're pretty slick and smooth, and they follow a good route and interesting routes as well. Interesting's always good. Now, this intersection, first of all, beautifully decorated. Beautifully, all the intersections are beautifully decorated today. I'm going to have a little mumble about this connector here. 2 lanes, yeah, we've got lane mathematics, 4s going into 4s, but it's very, very straight. Now, I don't know what the exact solution would be, but if I move that node into the middle, I could do that. But then the lanes that they merge into are even more off-centered. So I'd want to move it the other way. I think there's this is going to require a lot of planning. If I do it like that and then like that, then you'd have to move that ramp across as well. Yeah, I would rebuild the highway part of this intersection just to try and get it running a little bit smoother. But that said, it's a good looking intersection already. This is a bit of a steep ramp up here though. If you take that at pace, you might be able to actually jump over the flat bit in the middle there, whee, onto the bridge. It's a thing you could do. Right, anyway, we're taking a left here because this is going to take us towards the start square. And what a start square. Promising you, this is not an easy map. The start square, a little bit challenging. Got tree on the roads there. There are a few, mostly out of the way. That's probably the biggest culprit in terms of actually on the main routes. I got a switchback going on now. This looks a little bit awkward. I would redo the terrain work around there because we've got the gouge, we've got fairly steep. The embankment doesn't bother me so much, but having it on both sides looks a little bit awkward. So I'd probably just touch that with the softening tool just to smooth it out a little bit. Also, look at the trees. Okay, nice mix of trees there. Goes across the road and then it transitions nicely into the same sort of mix, but with a few conifers thrown in there as well. That is just a subtle blending. Very, very subtle blending and a lot of credit. This is Start Square area, by the way, and this is one of the 2 access points. Nice looking roundabout, a little bit encroaching foliage coming off the roundabout there. And let me just show you the bridge here looks very low. 3/4 of the reason for this is, of course, the bridges are a lot deeper than they would be in real life. So it is actually high enough to pass underneath, so there's no clipping going on, so there's nothing wrong with it. But I would probably just push it up a notch or 2, just so that it doesn't look quite so dangerous. It isn't. It's just catchy on the eye, as is a little bit of road stress along there, so the roads could be leveled out just to match up with each other a little bit there. Here's your main intersection, also enters the Start Square on the top end of the intersection here. Got some good rock detailing here, a little bit overlapping onto the roundabout there, and the same over this side. We've got the red rocks again, and we've got a little bit over there as well. So could just be shoveled back in. Somebody can get a spade, thank you. There's your Start Square area, and if I show you, there are flat areas in the Start Square, but it's mostly undulated. You know, it's broken up, and it's not gonna be a big grid city. It's gonna be a challenging build. You could go for a big city if you want. You could try, or you could just go for the small towns joined up by the highways. And I think that would work really nicely as well. Whatever you do, it's going to be a creative build. You're going to have to really put your head into it and try and work out how this is going to work best for you. Another intersection here, all set for a start location, not the Start Square obviously. And again, some great detailing going on with that one. And then as we head down into another little plateau over here, more buildable space over here with a pre-built intersection again. With again another well decorated. The intersections have been very just lovingly done, and I like to see it. Then we have a lake, and we go either side of the lake, but we do have some encroaching foliage going on quite a lot along there. And then we have a spillage. Now I don't know if this is going to actually stop the traffic. It's not marked that it's flooded, but it's just a little bit too. Maybe if I could drop that down, there we go. That would stop the water from going over there just by dropping it down a fraction. But yeah, it's just a minor problem there. Don't think it's game breaking. Very wet road down here. I wonder why the road is so wet down. Has it been raining? Or is it something else? Now have a look at this. This looks like a female Loki. Female Loki. Did you see that? Did you see that? Look. With a hat on the top there. If Loki was an anime character, he'd look a little bit like that, I think. In fact, there's probably an anime character that looks exactly like that already. Anyway, we head along the side of the cliffs here. There are a few different routes. We are just going this one because I found it the most interesting. Some beautiful switchbacks. I mean, really well done. Top quality switchbacks. And then at the bottom, we have a few trees encroaching, and that spoils it. And a few trees going on up here as well. And I'd say the main routes, the ones that you're going to be most looking at, they don't tend to have trees on, but these side routes, although there's a lot of traffic on there, which does make them main routes, it's just there's a few. This is heavily detailed. I love the look of it though. I really think that the colours there work really pleasingly. And then we're heading off towards a viaduct. I think I've taken the wrong turning because I was planning to get to the edge of the map by now. Yes, we're heading back into the middle of the map. Do you know what? At this point, we'll skip across to the edge of the map and we'll come in via the rail. Now, the rail is actually surprisingly excellent. Okay, there's one or two minor grumbles to be had here or there, mostly regarding trees, but look at how intricate it is. Yes, it's very bendy and windy, and Rail doesn't really like it, but Rail can have to deal with it. There are plenty of bendy and windy lines, and you don't really have a choice. You don't really have a choice. In hilly areas, you've got to keep it flat, and it is, say, on a hilly map, surprisingly flat. Now, as always, I'm going to say it for the 1000th time. Any gradients that are here, as long as you can't really see them with the naked eye, I don't think they really matter too much because of Cities Skylines rules. You know, we're not really worried about actually getting any traction on the track. Yeah, encroaching tree there. But as long as it doesn't jaunt on the eye, I think we're okay. And this map, the Rail, it doesn't really. There's nowhere along here where you go, oh, that's definitely sloping. You can look and you go, that's probably a little bit sloping. Possibly. There might be a little dip there, but still looks good. There might be a little bump there. Might be... It's all there might be. And there could be. And there possibly is. But consider the route. Now here we've got the switchbacks. And look at how well they have been done. The train will make it up there quite happily. And then as we head along the side of the river, we've got encroaching rocks. Oops. Now it's just little things like that. So it's just taking the edge away from this. This looks steeper, doesn't it? That little area there looks like it might have been that sneaky change in the elevation that the map maker was really needing to do. I could be wrong. I didn't feel I wanted to check it because I didn't feel it was that important. Because it just like squeezes into my... It just doesn't jaunt on the eye. And around the lake here. What a route, eh? What a rail route. It feels like it's a realistic route. And I think we've got to give credit to the map maker for that one. Rail nips through a tunnel, and then we're heading off. We are going all the way across the map, by the way, with this route. This is why it's taken so long. A nice straight route would be across by now. Why couldn't you do a straight one for us, huh? Anyway, one final tunnel there. Let me have a quick look at the... there you go. This looks like it's a steep hill, yeah? Put the lines on. If you look here, we are barely climbing at all. We are climbing, but it's very, very subtle. Anyway, that's it. We'll take an intermission. We'll come back with the shipping.
Are you struggling with water physics in the game? Are you constantly drowning and flooding your soggy little sins? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Water Physics by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to Lapparently Not by Planky85. And the shipping. Well, we have an airport and the airline. We have an air route, and the air route does go over the one main flat bit of land over here, so perfect for your airport. Now, shipping though, I know this is a lake and we shouldn't be seeing any shipping, so I understand that. But it's only based on the lake. I still would have liked to have seen the shipping route running across here. Even if it just dead ends, so it doesn't go all the way across the map, so that we only get shipping if we kind of request it. I would have liked to have seen the shipping route, but I don't think it really matters a huge amount. Waterflow, we do have the two lakes in the start square, so if you're somebody that does like to pump and draw, you are going to be able to do that. I'd be inclined to draw from the big lake and pump into the small one, and just be done with the pollution in the small one. Or maybe you could pump into, there's an outflow of the other lake. Probably go the other way around. Okay, so what can I tell you? It looks glorious. The theme mix is really very nice indeed. We've got a mix of some of my favourite underused themes. Like I say, the Rye Bluffs theme is a great theme. The Bolivia theme, probably the least used. I'm guessing. I don't see it used of Owl's themes. Look at the tree painting down there. That looks real. We've got a little cluster of trees there. Nothing on the cliffs, or very few on the cliffs. It seems totally believable to me. The one place the map does struggle, I think, is with the little... we've got a few drowned trees there. They're wearing their trunks. Yep. These little rivers, they are hard, full stop. They are hard. And the littler they get, the more fiddly they get, the harder they get to do well. And like this map, this river here, this stream here, we're just breaking the banks on either side all the way up. It's just a little bit strong. It's not an easy mechanic to work with. That said, it's not perfect work, so that is going to be a slight mark off from me at the end of the show. That said, does it matter? Not really. I'm glad they tried though. I really am. I got a good few buildable spaces, like buildable space there. We've got some buildable spaces there. In terms of flat areas, I mean, it's all buildable space. You can build up the side of the mountain if you want to. Big buildable space down here as well. And we've got a little lake with a pier as well. Nice little bit of fishing in there. We've seen that, a buildable space at the top of there with what would be a ready-made quarry area as well. It's lovely. It is lovely. Down here, we've got a castle. Tell you what, it's a very nice castle. I don't mind the trees on this dirt track because it looks completely abandoned. It's not even connected anymore. Question mark over this machine gun post. I think it's being used as like a reception area where you walk in and maybe be a gift shop or something in there. I think that's what that's been popped down there for. So we'll let that go. Don't know what's going on here though. These these trenches would be no good for water. We've got an elevated at ground level dirt road there. We've got an overlap on there. Whatever has been attempted here for me just does not work at all. So a minor mark off for detailing for that. But I love the shape of the castle. I'm loving this little building area here. And I really like the way that we've done the walls at the end here with the higher points. I think that works really, truly well. So credit for that. Something I'll probably be copying actually. That's a nice little touch. And the castle keep at the top. Again, not sure about the trench, but the rest of it, do you know what? I think that's a great castle. Even like the way the dirt road there marks where you imagine that outer wall probably was originally, but it's crumbled away now. Plenty of good stuff going on there. Plenty of good stuff. And again, all the detailing as well with the intersections. They're just really polished and clean and crisp. One or two slight problems. One or two here or there. But hey. Right, so start square. Let's head over to start square. Now, today's asset of the day I don't truly understand, but I'm going to show it off anyway because I don't understand it. Yeah, just because I don't understand it doesn't mean that I can't show it to you for those of you that do understand them. It's the Japanese River Revetment by Takamon27. Now, I've had a look at the images, and I mean, I just wouldn't understand. I get kind of what they're used for, but I wouldn't know how to start playing with them, how to start using them effectively. But I'm going to show them to you, so if you look at this and go, oh, it's exactly what I need for my city, boom, I've done my job. That's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to highlight some things from creators that maybe you might have missed when they were first launched on the workshop, because after that they go so far down the list, you never see them again. Factoids, because factoids. When you blush... When did you last blush? Oh, your willy's hanging out. Right, now you're blushing. When you blush, your stomach lining also becomes redder. Your stomach lining. How embarrassing is that? Is your stomach lining going red? Just a little bit. Well, put your willy away then. What is it today? What has got into my head? Anyway, yeah, the JP River Revetment by Takamon27. Really lovely. Just wish I knew what they were exactly. Wow. Oh, how I would use them exactly. I just need to have some time spent. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about the important stuff. The map. What do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I really like this. I was toying with 5 stars. I was toying with it. But then I remembered the rivers, those little windy rivers, and they're just not quite on point. So I'm going to go for a very high 4 stars. Very nice one. I really enjoyed this map. Detailing. There's a lot of excellent work here. This is clearly a 4-star map. How high can I go for 4 stars? Well, we do have quite a few trees on the road and maybe a few too many wet trees as well. I'm going to go for a medium low 4 stars. I don't think it's really low. Medium low. It's still very, very good work on the whole. Gameplay potential. Challenging map. But knowing that it's a challenging map, looking at it and saying, right, how would we play this? Do you know what? I think it's a playable challenging map. I think we score. Would like to see the shipping route, even though it's not really a shipping map. But I'm going to go middle 4. Really like this one. Lapparently Not. Lapparently do, actually. By Blanky85. It is a seal of approval map. Through and through. Could do with just a little bit of cleaning up here and there. And you're good. You're good. But there are very few maps that are like that. That are realistic looking maps, that are good looking maps, that are challenging maps, and are playable maps. All 4 in one shot. If that's what you're looking for, you have got a winner there. You're also a winner if you use the word of the day into the comments to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. So do that, do it now, because you are part of the 20 out elite by being right here, right now. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series, and it'll probably be another good one, hopefully.